Yeah.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Son of a Boy Dad podcast. Today it is June 10th.
Wow.
Tuesday.
I can't believe it. We haven't had a single day of weather in New York that has felt as though summer is anywhere nigh.
No, not at all.
If I wanted to live in fucking the Pacific Northwest,
Yeah.
I would just move to Seattle. This is fucking miserable.
Yeah, the rain is...
I saw there hasn't been a weekend without rain in New York since November 16th. It's June.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow. Is that real? That's a real
I
statistic?
saw it based on nothing. I mean, it was like a TikTok that just said that.
Shit.
That just can't... I feel like that can't be right.
No, it can't be right.
It's so
winter?
damn good, though. Why not just say that to people? Why not take that home with you?
It rained every weekend all
No
winter.
way. No way. This isn't London. Fucking hell. Now,
When was the last time?
I don't think it rained last weekend, did it?
Yes.
What about the weekend before that?
Yes.
mhm.
I don't know. You could say it, but...
torrential 2 weekends ago. Torrential.
It has been
Like
raining
3
for the
inches
last
of rain.
month, but winter just doesn't make sense.
I'll say this. Here's a controversial take, Ron. I don't mind. I don't mind it right now, and here's why. I know summer is the worst time to be in New York. It is always hell. Hot, humid, piss everywhere. Just piss everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it smells. So the longer we stave that off by keeping the hot weather at bay, the less torture of hot humid summer we're going to have to deal with.
Disagree.
But nobody's trying to go to the beach right now anyway.
I think people would love to go to the beach. I
Yeah.
think beach-going folk would love to go to the beach. I like it when it's hot in the summer.
I hate the beach.
Me too. Well,
You get to hold your water. I mean, your breath underwater.
I do like to swim at the beach, but I don't like being on the beach for hours unless there are
I don't
games to
like-
play.
There's literally zero redeeming qualities for the beach for me. I don't like to swim. I don't like the sand.
Yeah, well, you're a house cat.
No, I mean, I like being outside, but I'm just more of a freshwater man.
I don't mind that. That's a good take.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Take that tank to the bank.
I don't really like swimming in general because I hate myself and my body.
right.
But I like being outside.
If
So
no one
when
was,
I'm
if no one saw you,
Yeah.
What if you were alone?
No, still hate myself and my body.
You're saying
It's
that
deeply rooted.
you're alone on a
I see
glassy
myself
lake.
in a third person view.
also
watch
glassy is the
myself
worst
from
because you
another
can really
angle.
see his
Yeah.
his reflection.
Well, but don't
needs a
look
choppy lake.
straight down. Look out at the reflection of the mountain and the trees in the lake. You know.
I think the only time I could enjoy swimming is if it was pitch black and it was like a pool.
Ooh, you're a skinny dipper.
indoors.
Why not scuba dive? You literally put more clothes on.
Yeah, you could be a good scuba
I
diver.
don't want to see my shape in the in the wetsuit.
A baggy wetsuit,
Yeah.
a hoodie over your wetsuit.
I could see you being a scuba diver guy with the hood on and all that.
No, I don't fuck with the ocean.
No,
The ocean scares the shit out of me.
a lot of people are scared of the ocean.
The ocean's probably above, flying used to be my biggest fear. It's probably the ocean now.
Really?
Yeah.
Your
Why?
biggest
Because the
fear?
waves or
I
sharks?
mean, not more than, being murdered.
Yeah, that's
But, the idea of being killed, attacked by sharks, definitely bigger than
What
being
about-
murdered.
sharks versus drowning.
Drowning, I'm not worried about.
Really?
Built like
Drowning's
Phelps.
way scarier than me.
Oh,
I feel like I'm punching a shark.
When you're built like Phelps, you don't have much to worry about.
yeah, but
Like Mike.
hold on a second.
If I could be like,
If you
Hashtag built like Mike.
if you get killed by a shark, I would say chances are you're drowning, right?
No,
It's the double whammy. You're drowning with a massive leg wound.
yeah, or you just die immediately.
I don't think they're that precise. I don't think they're just ripping jugulars like
But
MacGruber.
yeah, but occasionally they'll just take a bite out of your torso and you die.
And then what? How long does that take?
Probably pretty.
There goes my
quick.
there
If
goes
half
my
of your torso
pancreas,
just
or there goes my kidney.
when people die from shark attacks, do they die in the water usually, or do they die on land?
probably the water.
Really?
I don't
if I
know.
had to guess.
Depends on if they're how shallow, right?
Yeah, I guess they say that the sharks usually swim away because they realize that you're not a seal.
That's what happened in Maine. I've told you that story, right?
Well, that's like the story.
What?
That's what happens.
But there's a specific instance of this.
There's thousands.
No, I don't think it's thousands.
No, there definitely is.
The big one was
like
in Maine.
pretty much like every shark attack.
A great white shark killed a woman in Maine in, I don't know, maybe 2020 or 2021.
Yeah, I remember.
Right off of Bailey's Island,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't that far out. As the crow flies, it's not far from my house.
Mm-hmm.
That's at the windy roads back there.
Yeah, you do have to go a long way out to Wiscasset and all that if you're driving. But as the crow flies, by boat,
Yeah.
really not so bad.
Yeah, more straight shot.
In other words, as a shark swims, it's not that far.
Mm.
And I go in that water all the time.
And she ate, and the shark ate someone.
She was a triathlete, training for a triathlon in deep water, wearing a full black wetsuit with a hood.
Yeah.
Short of, putting whiskers on her face, she couldn't have done more to look like a seal. You know what I mean? She might have even grayed out her face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seal face?
Seal face, which, controversial ever since the minstrel
The
shows.
accident. Oh.
But anyway, she was swimming between the islands and a shark bit her and then realized that she was not, in fact, a seal. And then apparently spat it out and sent it back to the restaurant.
Yeah.
It was like, this is not what I ordered.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And she died. She died. Her daughter pulled her out of the water.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, when she died, and this is not funny. I'm not being funny about any of this. But when she died, you guys, don't laugh now. Okay, this was a big deal in Maine. Big deal.
Yeah.
It's the only lethal great white shark attack in the history of the state of Maine. The only one ever. I'm telling you, dude, I remember there were like, people were like, it was like Jaws. People were going out in boats with like rifles.
I was in Martha's Vineyard when it happened.
You remember this?
Yes.
You remember it?
Yes.
Weren't you supposed to train for triathlon that day?
I was.
That would have been so brutal.
My father sent me to the bay side. And then somehow the shark ended up in the bay. And everyone was looking for it in the ocean.
Dude, I'm due for another
Jaws.
watch of Jaws. Jaws is so good.
It's
From
a
start
banger.
to finish, it is a perfect movie.
Yeah.
It's not for me. I don't really like waterbound movies.
Here's to swimming with bow-legged women.
What's that?
Who is that?
That's what like the dude says. Wint.
In
Is that his name? Quint?
Quint.
No.
Dr. Quinn.
Quint. Hard T.
Is it Quint?
Quint.
He's the fifth of his kind.
Can we just take a quick look at that, please? The fifth of his kind. It is Quint. Wow.
Hey, Quentin? Like
I've seen
Quentin
the
Miller?
movie.
Hi, I'm Harry the Quinth.
I think some people do call their fifth Quint.
That's pretty good. I dig that.
There's a jump scare in Jaws that really gets
I
me
screamed the first time
every
I saw
time.
it. The dead body coming
Yeah.
out as they're underwater. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad.
That one gets me. Have you ever seen I think Mythbusters did a episode about Jaws, the ending.
When they shot the
They shot the tank.
tank out of its mouth.
Yeah, I think they found out that it would not explode.
No, they're wrong.
Well, because it explodes with I think it would explode from pressure.
Bro, I've never
Maybe.
seen the end of Jaws.
That's on you. But
That's so
But-
fucked.
I don't think it in the movie it explodes with flames shooting around.
It's chunks of there are flames probably,
Yeah.
but I remember the chunks of the shark landing in the water all around.
What I love about Jaws is when they kill the shark and then they swim back.
Yeah,
and
they're kicking on
laughing,
and they're
kicking
laughing.
on the-
Yeah,
they're kicking on the plank of wood.
yeah.
But wouldn't you be there's probably another shark realistically? Or
No.
maybe a lot more.
They knew that was the one. That was the one that had been terrorizing everybody. It was the hungriest shark.
It was a bad fish, but yeah, but
Here, fishy,
considering
fishy, fishy.
there's 6 Jawses, they were wrong.
Yeah,
That's
but
how it should have ended. It should have ended with they're paddling back and they get hit again.
did Spielberg
Boom. Jaws
direct
2.
Jaws 2? Did he do Jaws 2?
I doubt it. Maybe.
Could we get a little fact check on that? Was Spielberg involved in Jaws 2? Because Jaws 2 was not good. Nor was Jaws 3.
I think one of them was.
You
was
kept
decent.
watching Jaws?
I needed to know.
I've seen 1 through 3,
Mm-hmm.
but I think one of them was pretty solid.
No, you're thinking of The Godfather. Godfather 2 was excellent.
No, Jaws 2 is what? Jaws 2 is the one where they're on like the sailboat.
No, Robert Redford is flashback in time, and he's stalking the guy through the streets of Little Italy.
No, seriously, what is it? Is it they're on the sailboat?
It's
right?
the origin story of Don Corleone. Not involved.
Not involved. That
Because the shark like follows Don Fanucci down the entire block during
Correct.
the San Gennaro festival.
He was,
And then sneaks up, and then Don Fanucci's like, "What do you have there?" But in Italian, of course.
yeah.
And then the shark fucking attacks him.
He was the shark of the Sicilian shark. That was his nickname. Yeah.
You've never seen Godfather 2?
No. Don't care to.
And you're talking about Jaws 2?
Yeah, and 3. I'm trying to think of what 3 is about right now.
Was that the one where there were the kids?
I think that's the second one.
Oh, and they're out on boats and it's all kids.
I
There's a
think
lot of
I think
kids.
It's a lot of
3 is
kids.
Joe
A lot of kids.
Mantegna is
Yeah.
the shark.
I don't know. I saw them both, but I can't remember. They were horrible.
I don't think they were that bad.
They were both pretty bad.
I think if you like the first one, like they're fine.
Did you guys ever watch The Perfect Storm?
Oh,
Of course.
great.
I never watched it, but I know everyone dies.
Loved it. Clooney,
No, not
Wahlberg,
I thought by the end everyone dies.
John C. Reilly.
Everyone doesn't die?
Everyone dies.
I feel like that's the premise of it, that no one survives.
Wahlberg, they let him float out, and he floats, but the waves are 400 feet high. So I don't think he makes it because they're 150 miles out to sea. And then Clooney goes down with the ship, which always baffled me because it's like, okay, well, I get that happening on the Titanic, but a small fishing vessel, the captain has to go down with that?
Oh,
what was his
I see
options?
that more than the Titanic.
Get out of here.
The Titanic is like that's corporate America. You don't want to go down with the Titanic. Your own rig, you die with the rig.
That guy,
I'm drowning with my rig every day.
The captain of the Titanic had been assigned that job, and he was probably a celebrity as a result.
Yeah.
The Titanic was the largest ship ever built, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Huge fanfare. I mean, it came out to bells and whistles. You know, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders were dancing on the deck.
Sucked. And it wouldn't have meant anything if it didn't sink.
No, it would still be around today. It'd be the QE2.
It would be a dinghy they would use to get to one of the fucking big cruise ships.
Do you know the QE2?
It would literally be the ferry from
it'd be
Miami to...
the gift that Roman Abramovich gives to his upstart son on his 13th birthday.
His side piece.
Do you know about the QE2?
No.
The Queen Elizabeth II?
No.
Oh, that's a big ocean liner. And it parked in, I'll never forget it, in the bay at Portland, near Portland Headlight and like Fort something. And we all went out in a boat to sort of tour around it. It was a huge deal.
It was where the parents met in the Lindsay Lohan version of The Parent Trap.
That's right.
That was their
Did you guys get
origin story.
Did you guys get to like drive on the boat?
No, we tried, but when we tried to go on, we didn't know the secret handshake. So
I didn't know if they'd brought you guys up to Vancouver or something.
no.
Yeah, you do the secret handshake that they do.
Yeah. Lilo and Stitch.
Classic.
That's a fucking classic. I've never seen that. I've never seen Twister either.
Can we get a little info on the QE2, please? That wasn't the boat that actually transported Queen Elizabeth, right?
I think it was named after her.
Yeah, I don't think it had anything to do with her.
The second.
Just how you name a boat after a woman.
Yeah.
It's the only way. But they do that with like the New York ferries.
What do they name them?
Like Rhonda the drag queen. It's just very random, low-level names.
I've come to the realization that what I want named after me more than anything is a truck stop in New Jersey.
Oh, I think that's pretty easy. I think you just sign up online.
No, the names of those truck stops are pretty amazing. Do we have some QE2 info?
Built in
69.
1969.
Built in
Okay, well.
2008, and now it is a hotel in Dubai.
Now it's a hotel in Dubai.
This sounds like a complete tourist trap scam that you were lured into.
I mean, it was a big deal. It was all over the Portland Press Herald.
Well, if Dubai was able to pick it up that easily.
Well, it was decommissioned in 2008. Does it
It
say
didn't really
whether or
have a
not it was
long
for the royal family?
Long
or
run,
not?
yeah, a short run.
10 years.
Yeah.
The
cruise line.
Mexican sailboat had longer than that.
Yeah. The Titanic had longer than that, I think.
Maiden voyage.
Why the fuck are they still building the QE2 after we had been to the moon? They're like, let's conquer ocean travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go back to the moon.
I think ocean travel might be the worst form of travel.
Yeah, why would they go back to that?
Did you ever watch The Crown?
I think I saw like the last season.
Wow, you started on the last season?
My mom was watching it, and it was the last season. And
Joined?
I popped it on. I think we watched Diana go down, and then I went and did something else.
You popped some champagne and celebrated her
I was like, that
downfall.
was kind of all I wanted to see.
Finally, fucking
Mm.
die.
Well, I wasn't rooting for her death.
Well, her name was Princess Di, which
True.
no one ever put that together.
No one put that together.
It was written.
Mhm. Well, I learned a lot from that show.
Yeah.
Mainly that Lady Di's driver was drunk.
Yeah, shit faced
And
on the Galaxy Gas.
yeah,
Yeah, that's probably what he was on,
could be. What's Galaxy Gas?
like nitrous.
Oh, really?
Just London.
Fair enough.
He
Yeah.
was
London
probably on the
drugs
At
skunk.
that time.
He was probably smoking that skunk.
Yeah.
Isn't this skunk when you spray weed with like Raid or something like that?
Why would you spray weed with Raid?
So you get more fuck because the weed sucks over there.
Keep the ants out of it.
It keeps the ants out. Because the weed is so shitty that they need to like soup up the high, so they're basically smoking Raid.
I don't even understand how
Going
that
off the
is-
skunka.
You're smoking Raid?
But it needs a place to land. You know, you can't just smoke a spray.
You guys should see the lineup of Raid I have at my apartment.
Oh my God.
The collection.
Do you know how many people sent me that video on Instagram of the person who was shaking out the cockroach tower?
Oh no.
Did you ever see this
I
video?
gotta get one of those.
I don't
though.
know what country it's in,
They're
but
trying
there
to get
are
in.
millions of cockroaches scurrying all over the floor, and someone is coming in with these, I don't know what they are. They're these little like honeycomb. They almost look like beehives, and shaking them out. And there's like another 1,000 that comes out. And then they grab another one and shake it out. And they were like, this is what you should do at Harry's apartment.
That's what feels like is what's happening at my apartment. I can't stop finding dead roaches. Like I'm up to like two a week at this point.
Oh, well, that's not so bad.
But I'm killing them. Like every time they come into my apartment, they die immediately.
The crunch of killing them is really...
No. They don't. They're dying from the
Of
poison.
natural causes?
No, every time I find them, they're flipped upside down.
And
dead.
that's from the raid?
Yeah, that's from the poison.
Oh, so your apartment is just covered in poison.
Pretty much, yeah. I got a gallon jug and it has a hose, and it has like this on, like it has like an on-off switch. There's some sort of engine inside of it because when you turn it on, it's like, and then I walk around my apartment and just
like pumping it?
No, it's autumn. It's literally just a trigger with this massive like, it's like a power washing gun.
And you're just fucking blasting every surface in your apartment with it?
No, I'll go into like the corners and the crevices.
But it's just, again, it's not...
It's safe for indoors. It's called indoor raid.
Yeah, well, that's going to be one of those things that 40 years from now, they're like, have you been impacted by the spray raid? Did you lose a child?
I only do it a couple times a week.
Have you suffered 7 miscarriages in a row?
It usually
Call us at Morgan and Leibowitz.
It lasts for a while. Like
You may be
usually have to
entitled.
spray it. Like I'll spray it sometimes after I find a roach, but like I really have no idea where they could be coming from.
Maybe they're committing suicide.
I don't know, because on the raid, on the gallon jug, it has a photo of a roach upside down.
Dude, we used to love the personal injury law advertisements in our where I grew up.
Yeah.
Hardy, Wolf, and Downing was the big one. The 3 lawyers would come out in black and white with bats, and they would be smacking the bats in their hands. They're like, "We don't settle for less." It's like, dude, are they gonna beat the defendant up? Jesus Christ!
We'll commit a crime and get ourselves out of it. Just to show how good we are.
I got hurt in NewJersey.com.
Is
You
that
ever
one
see
of them?
Yeah. That's the big one. That billboard is when you're like driving through the hall, like out into Jersey, you see that billboard like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
What do lawyers who get into a law firm like that like tell themselves? Like, is it just good pay or does that suck ass?
I think they're hoping for like eventually they're gonna get a call from a dude who works at like USPS, and he's gonna be like, I broke my arm, and they're gonna be like, this is the golden ticket right here. We're
'Cause
going
don't they
for
have
the
to
government.
They
Like that's what they're hoping for.
have to sit through a lot of shitty little ones
Yeah,
to catch the big
100%,
fish.
yeah.
I mean, it's fishing.
Yeah, 100%.
It's ambulance chasing. But I mean, I guess there's like the guys Morgan and Morgan. Like,
Yeah.
How do you get from just being a regular guy to having a fucking practice with your name on it?
You know, you build up a
Winning
big client
cases.
roster and you win cases and you win people money. And then when their friends get hurt, they say like, well, you're hurt too.
Yeah, it's all about just stacking wins, stacking dubs.
What's a good winning
What's your
percentage?
What's your win-loss ratio?
Yeah, what's a good
Well,
streak for a
You know, what is a
Personal
win in a
injury.
personal injuries lawsuit? Aren't most of them settled, right?
Yeah.
So then I would guess it's the dollar amount.
True.
It's like, were you know?
I mean, if you're going into one of those, realistically, like what's your minimum that you're looking to get
have
out
you
of it?
for you know, we've handled 48 cases of pit bulls ripping the faces off of people, and our average settlement is $12,000 because, as it turns out, people who own pit bulls really don't have much money.
I'd be happy with 12 grand. But if my
No.
face got ripped
No,
off, I
that
wouldn't.
barely covers your plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Also,
Probably
the
doesn't.
lawyers are probably just trying to get enough to be like, all right, I work for 4 days on this case. If I get 25%, I need to make sure I'm getting $1,000 a day or something like that. So let me get $4,000 and then quadruple it to be what they get or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, we're looking for $16,000.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. You were going to be a lawyer.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have been a personal injury attorney. That's for damn sure.
Constitutional law?
I don't know what I would have
Defense.
done. I don't think I was cut out for like yeah, well that
Public defender.
yeah, you do public defendant for a bit, right?
Yeah.
And then you flip sides.
Mm-hmm.
Then
And
you
then-
prosecute.
Or then you go to like white collar
Mhm.
defense.
Yeah, you're
Like,
like, I'm
So
Rob-
public defense is the lowest? That's where you just start off?
No, I wouldn't even call it low. It's just that's like you're in the trenches. That's tough. That
Why?
and assistant district attorney. Those are the two opposite sides of like street crime.
yeah, the DA, the ADA.
The ADAs, yeah.
How many orders do you got us running for the DA?
They one of my friends who's a lawyer was like, people who he started off as a DA or as a public defender. Everybody would come up to him and be like, "Why didn't you get me off?" And he would be like, "You did it. You told me you did it."
Yeah.
And they'd be furious at him because they still had to go to jail. People think that just because they got a lawyer, they're like, "Oh no, it's get out of jail free."
yeah.
Well, isn't a public defender also trying to get like just knock time off your sentence? Like,
They're-
aren't they kind of just like, you're going to jail. Let's see what we can do.
Well, it depends. It depends, right?
Unless
If you have a
you're-
public defender, first of all, every citizen or whatever
Has a public defender.
has the right to a trial.
yeah,
And most of the time, the district attorney's office and the courts don't want the case to go to trial.
yeah,
So I think most lawyers will try to convince their clients like you
Take a
should take
plea.
this deal.
yeah,
Because if you go to trial and you don't win, your sentence is going to be way worse.
yeah,
So they'll offer them a better option to try to avoid that because trials are expensive and cost the, county money, and
yeah.
you've got fucking jurors and all that shit.
Don't you think does part of you ever wish you were a lawyer? Like, I feel like part of that, like, I don't know. What if you got like a sick?
I don't know,
I feel like you
man.
get a lot of juicy gossip as a lawyer. Like,
You ran hard on the Jew
the
part.
juiciest
Juicy gossip. Jesus Christ.
I don't
bro.
know. I don't know what.
But the problem
Type
is you
of
gotta keep
law
your
I would have
lips
enjoyed.
sealed. Can't tell anybody, or else they'd take your bars away.
Like Young Thug's lawyer. Do you ever see the videos of Young Thug's lawyer and they play
yeah.
a song in the courtroom and Young Thug is he's going along with the lyrics like
Yeah.
this, and the lawyer starts following his hand and
Yeah.
laughing. It's got to be so fun to be a guy like
Yeah.
that's lawyer who obviously did it, but they're a decently good criminal enterprise, and you're probably going to get them off, and they're paying you a shit ton of money.
Yeah, but aren't you also probably worried if I don't get him off, they're gonna kill me?
I don't kill the lawyer.
Yeah, you don't think?
Who's ever killed the lawyer?
I would have killed the lawyer. If I was Young Thug and my lawyer didn't get me off. All right, well, we're just gonna kill you too. You can't think of any other solutions?
No one kills the lawyer.
I feel like a lot of people are killing the lawyer that you don't know about.
You're thinking of Jurassic Park,
No,
where they eat the lawyer.
I think a lot.
That's not a criminal enterprise. Those are dinosaurs. You get that right.
I think a lot more people are killing the lawyer than you.
No,
think.
you're thinking of the big T-Rex from Jurassic Park
Have you ever
that eats the
seen-
lawyer off the toilet.
Have you ever seen Lincoln Lawyer?
Yeah,
With,
McConaughey?
McConaughey.
that's a good one.
There's
I like
a show
that movie.
too.
Yeah. I never saw the show.
The McConaughey one's baller though. Dude is so sick.
Um,
Wish I was him.
Who's a better Lincoln, McConaughey?
I'm always chasing McConaughey in 5 years. Imagine have you ever seen that video of McConaughey being who's your goal? And he's like, it's me in 10 years.
mm-mm.
What if my goal was also Matthew McConaughey in 10 years? Who do you look up to? McConaughey in 10 years.
In 10 years.
Really? That's odd.
He might not be around.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what that looks like?
Could be dead. Are you wishing for death?
I trust it.
Who's a
Classic.
better Lincoln, McConaughey or Daniel Day-Lewis?
McConaughey.
Daniel Day-Lewis was so good.
Yeah, I'm going DDL on this one.
But McConaughey's the best.
Who has more misses in their movie catalog, McConaughey or Day-Lewis?
Day-Lewis.
Day-Lewis?
Does McConaughey have any?
Yeah, I'm
Classics?
sure he
Dallas
does.
Buyers Club. I guess.
Byers.
That was sucked.
Byers was classic.
Fool's Gold.
What's all his
Fool's
dating,
Gold?
his
I
Kate
love
Kate
that
Hudson
movie.
dating movies? were
Yeah,
awesome.
Fool's Gold was
true. I
not
forgot
good.
he had a lot of that shit.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days was good.
What was the one with J-Lo?
Oh, The Wedding Planner?
Yeah,
That one was
piping
good.
down J-Lo,
Yeah, Jay Lizzie.
and then
I went to that movie. That was my first date ever, was going to that movie.
to which one? Wedding Planner?
Wedding Planner. Yeah, went to
She's
the
a
movie.
little ahead of herself.
Me?
No, she was taking you to Wedding Planner.
Oh,
The
I
first time you
know.
went out. That's a little bit.
Yeah, I know. Well, she was
Needy.
Latina as well, and they moved quickly.
She was ready to start popping them out.
Yeah.
Respect. That's great. What do you remember from the date? Did you hot mouth?
I remember that my date kept her coat on the entire time, and it was a winter coat.
Yes, cold mouthed. Sounds like she was freezing.
She was very cold.
Just blowing smoke in each other's mouths.
There was a lot of distance between us. And then my parents drove us there, and then her parents picked us up and drove us home.
So they coordinated it. They both knew that the date was happening.
Let's put it this way. It wasn't worth it.
Oh, sure it was.
No.
You got to
there
get
was-
one out of the way.
Being in the car with your parents as they drive you and your little girlfriend to a date is hell. That was hell.
I feel like you started dating when you were in third grade.
No, that was seventh. That was seventh grade. That was seventh grade.
Going out to white tablecloth dinners. Yeah, I'll do the chicken fingers.
Extra ketchup for the lady.
These little rascals.
Watch this. Could you mix the iced tea with the lemonade?
No, I was terrified of women until sixth grade, maybe.
Well, that never happened for me when I was in grade school. I don't think high school either, where my parents drove me to a date.
No, neither.
How'd you get there?
I didn't date until I could drive.
Didn't do them.
Yeah. Well, did you live somewhere where you could just walk?
God, no.
That
I
was
used to walk everywhere.
well. That would have been ideal. I mean, we just didn't. Maine was so spread out.
I used to walk to my friend's house and it would be like 7 miles away. But
Really?
I'd be there in 4 hours.
You didn't have a bike?
I would bike too.
Yeah.
Skateboard.
Sass grew up in Donnie Darko's neighborhood.
Yeah. It is crazy. I feel like when I was a kid, I would get like 30,000 steps a day, like every day. Now I'm down to 33.
Because you're hovering so much. You're taking that damn hoverboard everywhere.
I'm always hovering these days.
It's
Ever
a
since
perfect kind of
since I
vibe.
got the one wheel.
You just take
Those
the one
things
wheel.
are crazy.
I just lean places. They used to be everywhere, and now it's like exclusively homeless dudes on it.
They should have had your character ride one of those one wheels in tires.
What is that? What is the one wheel? The thing that you stand on?
The thing where it's just the two pedals on the side of one big wheel.
That's madness.
Yeah, I think it's insane.
If
And they go
anything-
like 95 miles per hour.
Anything goes wrong, you are absolutely dead.
Dead. Like if you go over like a pebble and
Yeah.
it doesn't sit well. Yeah.
Full face
Yeah.
plant.
And it doesn't matter how much armor you're wearing, because the
No.
guys will wear elbow pads,
Oh, yeah.
wrist guards,
they're
and
decked
the
out.
full helmets.
Yeah.
Your body's
Shields.
getting mangled.
Yeah. They're wearing like iron plates.
It's going to be
Kevlar.
like the
Teflon.
Kevlar.
Kevlar.
Mm.
Like the squirrel suit guy who flew into the Golden Gate Bridge.
Did that happen?
Yeah.
How? Out of a plane? Or
I think that they
No.
were like a group of 3 of them, and I think they were trying to go under, and he didn't go under.
Which feels pretty. I don't know. I've never done it.
You're going to say it seems pretty easy to
To
go under?
avoid the Golden Gate Bridge.
It's probably pretty windy around there to just use your body as a kite.
True. Remember when we went? It was super foggy.
Imagine being that guy who
Couldn't see
died and
any
you're
of
just
it.
calling him an idiot.
Oh, I'm not calling him an idiot.
It's pretty easy for a guy like me to do. I went indoor skydiving one time and my fucking body got folded in half into a full V. You think I'm going to be able to have the fucking core strength to like angle my body right in a squirrel suit by the Golden Gate Bridge?
KB got me indoor skydiving tickets for my birthday.
Have you used it?
No.
I had a feeling.
Never gonna do that.
No, that's not going to happen. That's number 2 behind ocean.
The sky, the ocean.
I would fuck around in like an indoor skydiving machine again, like if it was just me solo in there.
It was so emasculating. It was like I went with my wife when we were dating. I got folded in half at the base of my spine.
Oh man.
My whole spine was up. My
Did they have
whole
to
legs
grab
were
you?
up.
They had to grab you and pull you
They
back
like
in.
brought me down and they were like holding me on top and bottom like I was a Turkish like bowl of rice that they were gonna flip over at some point. And they're just like guiding my body up and down. And then afterwards, like one of the guys went in and like shot me.
Oh
Went
yeah.
7 floors up. It was like spinning. And I just like took pictures of them and acted like that was me on when I posted them
I would
online.
be so mad. I don't know
So
if anything would make me
emasculated.
more mad than that.
Stolen skydiving valor.
Especially because I've seen those videos of the dudes when they jog in.
Yeah. They're incredible.
And they're like
And you're like,
in space and, like,
and then
back
they pop right back out.
yeah. And you think to yourself, how long did it take them to get that
So
good?
long.
Because this is the least transferable skill
Yeah.
of all time.
I would say even if you've been skydiving 1,000 times,
Bro,
I think you step into that thing and you're like, what the fuck
It's all
is
new.
this?
My
Yeah.
arms look like Olive from Popeye. They're just like up in the air like this from olive oil from Popeye.
is there anybody that likes it?
I feel like I would get in and I wouldn't go up. I would just be still on the ground.
Or your body would inflate like a parachute.
I
Like
just wouldn't be budging. This guy's got iron shoes on.
clink, clink.
Sir, do you have any metal in your body?
So
All of it.
embarrassing.
It's all laced.
Guys, I think if you know about me, you know that I love being a dad. And I think of it as such a flex in the morning when I see that I created double human being, double male. It's such a big flex on my
It's big
part
time.
to have gone double male
Double mail, yeah.
on everybody. And I love going double male. But I also love to go double burger. Double patty
Double patty.
is what I like to go.
The twins of food.
The twins. And I've been doing that with my good friends over at Shake Shack. Shake Shack is offering a buy one double ShackBurger, get another one free. Something from us. So that's Boy Dad giving you double because I have double. Okay. And you're buying a double and you're getting another double. So you're doubling your double. Because I have double. Because I have double. And that's what I'm doing with you guys. And of course, life's busy. But something like getting a meal, that's a good gift for Father's Day. That's a good gift for Dad. Okay. Maybe Corky would like a double. You know. Maybe Harry Sr. would like a double. Maybe that's a gift idea for you guys to have. But you could just use the code DADMODE, DADMODE, DADMODE. You get it right now through Monday, June 16th. Terms apply.
Guys, I owe you the name of the Vuori pants that I have been wearing because, in truth, I was away for 7 days. And I wore them for 6 of them.
That's insane.
I would have been disgusted with myself had the pants not been so comfortable and so versatile. They are a pant to wear if you feel like you don't know what's coming and you're just going to be traveling a lot and you want a pant that's perfect for everything that comes your way. From Chicago to Austin, Texas, I was crushing these Vuori pants. And that's because they're incredibly versatile and comfortable, perfect for whatever your day brings. Their core short is soft, lightweight, 4-way performance stretch. It moves with you, no restriction. And it's available in 3 inseam options, a perfect fit for every preference. Again, Ron and I love the pants. I like their t-shirts a lot. They're super, super soft.
The shorts, they have multiple pairs of shorts.
All that good stuff. Vuori is an investment in your happiness. And for our listeners, they are offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at vuori.com/boydad. That's VUORI.com/boydad. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to vuori.com/boydad and discover the versatility of Vuori clothing. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions.
Alrighty, let's talk about Factor.
It's gotta be.
Summer is here. More sun, more light, more time to do all the things that make summer so special. And the number one thing you don't want to be doing all summer, spending hours cooking inside. That's where Factor comes in. Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle over summer and beyond. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer gains and goals. Choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Factor powers your day, sun up to sundown, with nutritious breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premier dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. Factor has your whole day covered. Enjoy more this summer. Get Factor if you want all the flavor and none of the fuss. Get started at factormeals.com/sun50off and use code sun50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code sun50 at factormeals.com/sun50off for 50% off plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/sun50off.
This show is brought to you by Kraken. If you're going to trade crypto, do it right. No sketchy platforms, no sketchier customer support. That's why we only trust Kraken. Kraken lets you buy, sell, and swap over 300 cryptos without the lag, crashes, or clownery. Buying crypto manually, that's old school. Recurring buys lets you automate your investments so you stack stats without even thinking about it. DCA done right. Buy more when the prices dip, less when they spike. And you can also link in your bank in minutes. Set it, forget it, and let your portfolio grow. And plus, they have Kraken Pay, which is instant crypto payments. No more "I'll Venmo you later" excuses. Whether you're covering a lost bet, splitting a tab after a night out, or sending funds for the next wild adventure, Kraken Pay lets you move money instantly with 0 fees and no banks holding things up. Oh, and refer your friends. Kraken will set you up with $200 in USDG. just for spreading the love. So quit waiting. Head to kraken.com/barstool. Not investment advice. Crypto trading involves risk of loss and is offered for U.S. customers, excluding Washington, New York, and Maine through Payward Interactive Incorporated.
I don't get it. That is something, the indoor skydiving, where, you see them on the sides of highways everywhere or whatever. And
They're always like by an airport. You get to Chicago and you're going from O'Hare to wherever, and you always go past the fucking indoor skydiving place.
how many repeat customers do they have? Because I don't know anybody who's ever gone and thought, I gotta do that again.
Roan's the only person I know that's ever done it.
I've done it.
Really?
Yeah. We went and it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
It was as bad as it gets. I'll never forget the feeling of the goggles cutting into my face. It was so uncomfortable that I just couldn't wait for it to be over.
Yeah.
And, the wind is so powerful.
It's like 90 seconds too. Like I wasn't in there for long at all.
What if you're good at, were you good at it?
No, they won't let you
He was
do
definitely
anything.
good at it.
Nah.
You gotta earn your black belt.
Yeah, you need
So
to
you just
earn
have to
not
sit
being
there and
touched.
just hover.
Pretty much. They let you come up a little,
Yeah.
but clearly it's dangerous because they're really on top of you.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
It's terrible.
They're just
But it's the
touching you.
same reason that I feel like skydiving sounds awful. Like I don't want to be attached to some fucking guy. Especially because
Skydiving,
you're falling for 10 minutes?
no, you fall for 60 seconds,
Oh, really?
something like that.
Oh.
Skydiving I've done twice. Once of my own volition, and then the other time was for that show, the show he hosted.
Oh, yeah.
And skydiving is kind of cool, I have to say.
Yeah, I don't fuck with that.
I don't fuck with that.
I wouldn't.
Heights.
I'll never do it again. I don't need
even
to
fuck
do it
with
again.
the plane that you jump out of.
Yeah.
But at least
Well,
you
the
have
guy's like a
parachute.
flannel shirt, like drunk.
Yeah.
He's just like, let's get this thing on the ground as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I've got fucking
Yeah.
booze going warm.
He owns a sheep farm
Yeah.
and moonlights as a
He
skydiving.
just does not care if he dies or if anybody on board lives.
Yeah. Well, they all got parachutes, so he's probably kind of just like, who gives a fuck?
Like,
If we're
'cause
crashing, just jump.
Dana said that Dana.
do what we came here to do.
You remember Dana was too fat to do it?
Yeah.
And so he flew up and they told him he couldn't go. And then so he had to fly down. But he said as soon as everybody jumped from the plane, the pilot just dropped altitude immediately. It was as scary as skydiving because they just had to white
sure,
knuckle it.
yeah.
He was just like, fuck it, let's get this thing down as far as possible.
I'm sure, yeah. He's probably done, he does it probably 10 times a day.
Yeah, he does not give a
Yeah, he
fuck.
probably just fucking
Mhm.
Free fall
nose
it.
dives it down. Yeah. He's probably got that thing down to a T.
Yeah, he's probably a Japanese
Yeah.
dive bomber. Yeah. So why would you do it? Why'd you say it was awesome, but also that you would never do it again?
Well, because I don't want to tempt fate ever again. I shouldn't have done it twice. I think if you get away with it and you survive once, you say it's a handshake with God,
What's the
and you both
survival
agree
rate?
never to tempt fate again.
It's 82%.
Really?
18%.
What is it?
82%.
No way.
No.
It's got to be higher than
It's got to
that.
be 99.9.
Yeah.
If it was anything less.
But after we went to the place in Colorado, you were like, I've skydived from here before.
Yeah.
And then as we were leaving, we looked it up, and it's the deadliest skydiving facility in the United States.
Damn.
The deadliest.
Is that just because they have the most people jumping?
I don't know. I just saw the placard that they had in their lobby.
They owned that? They were happy about that?
6 years running, the deadliest skydiving facility.
Death Weekly has ranked us
Yeah.
the number one place.
We have a James Beard Award.
Want to
for
die in the
death.
sky? Well, you've come to the Mecca.
That's crazy. I don't think skydiving is something I'll ever do. I'm not a heights guy. I like to ski, but I don't even like being on the chairlift.
Yeah.
When that shit stops and you're at the highest point.
You don't even like
anyone's ever been.
observatories. I know that about you.
No, I don't.
I've never seen you at the Edge in New York.
There was an observatory, or not an observatory, but we took a field trip, I remember, to a mountain in Massachusetts where they have a weather tower. We got to go up on it.
Not for you. You lay
And
down flat on the ground.
Yeah, I did. I sat down. I was like, "This is," because we were on we were only we weren't even high off the ground. It was literally like being on top of like a 1-story building. But it was the fact because we were on a mountain, it looked like we were way higher up. And I was like, "This is not for me."
You can't fall while you're sitting down.
Hell no.
You've already fallen.
You know, people are more scared that they're just gonna jump themselves. Just say fuck it.
Clooney said that
It's not true. I feel like
Clooney-
that's just objectively false.
in like a GQ article. Clooney was like, "I'm just scared. I'm gonna fucking jump."
Yeah.
Mm.
It's actually most people are just scared of what they're capable of what they're capable of.
Free
putting an
will
end
is
to.
what really scares me.
Yeah.
Clooney's his life is so perfect that like his trauma was that he had like free will.
Yeah.
There's nothing for him.
a second, it was possible for him to die.
Yeah. Then I just thought about all you poor fucks having to live here without me. No more Ocean's movies.
I could see Clooney jumping and just a team of angels being like, "No, nope, nope,
Yeah.
nope,
We
nope,
need
nope,
you, sir."
Nope, come on back now, George."
They're not ready for that. How many would be too many people to be in Danny Ocean's crew? Like what number's critical mass? How many sequels could they go to?
15 is a team.
15 is
Yeah.
hockey lines.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think 13 is really, what was it, 14?
Did they do 14?
No,
they
they
went
did
to 8.
11, 12, and 13,
11,
and then they
12,
went to 8,
13.
which was all women,
8.
because they realized that more than that,
Yeah.
we wouldn't get along.
Even
More
so,
than that it just logistically was impossible.
Yeah.
they didn't have a party bus big enough for all of them. That's how women get around. I know
Yeah,
that.
I feel like 15 would be too many. Ocean's 15. There's 15 people. 'Cause
Oh
who do
my
you even
God.
get at that point?
Something very funny happened yesterday. I
Yeah.
just remembered.
What about Ocean?
Oh my God.
I feel like we're still kind of on Ocean's 15.
Okay, I'll hold it. Yep, you're right.
I feel like we were right just knocking on the door of
I
something.
know. I'm sorry.
Something
I
big.
I'm so sorry. Ocean's 14.
No, 15.
Well, what about
15?
this? Before you get into your story, what about Ocean 16? All right, Francis, you want to hit your
Well,
story?
we haven't even figured out 15
Let's
yet.
talk about 15 for a minute.
There's not even more roles. 15 is like that's a whole basketball team with the 3 guys on the
Yeah.
injured reserve.
At some point, they have to go co-ed, right?
How you'd think.
Ocean's offense, Ocean's defense, maybe.
Yeah.
Ocean's 22. Just some guys are specialists.
Well, we all know that Harry would never be part of the team
Why?
because you said you wouldn't go near an ocean.
And now we can go on to the
I
funny
think
thing.
I would be leading the team, if anything.
Well, it's not Lakes 12,
So it'd be Settles what?
not Rivers 6.
Right.
I hate the direction this has gone. Continue with your story.
I provided you a lifeline and you shut it down. Swatted it away.
You sabotaged my topic.
There's more meat on the bone. We got to do Ocean's 15.
I'm just gonna have Owen cut the whole Ocean's 15 thing, and we'll redo it next
I
episode.
tried. I played the game.
Well, we
I
had the
feel like-
script.
Yeah. You didn't do any of the lines that I wrote you.
You tell me
Tell you what?
when you want me to tell the story from
Oh yeah,
yesterday.
I told you. You're good to go.
It's a quick one.
All right.
Okay. I got into an elevator in my own apartment building.
Yeah.
And there was a guy in there with a dog, a nice dog that
Mhm.
was looking up at me and wagging its tail. And he had like ear pods in.
The
And
dog?
No, the guy, right. And I turned to him and I go, "Oh, may I say hi?" And he goes, "Hi." I swear to God. Swear to God. He was like, he looked at me like, "What?"
That's so weird.
And then I went, "Oh, no." And he goes, "Oh, okay, sure."
He has to feel like an idiot.
Yeah, he probably thought about that for hours.
Dude, I swear to God, he was like, why are you asking permission to say hi to
Yeah.
me?
I wonder if it was in your delivery, or what if the guy was like salivating over you when you walked onto the elevator and he was like dying for you to say something, and then he just choked when you finally talked to him.
Dude,
What if it was his dream?
I don't know, but I guess I wasn't really indicating that I wanted to talk to the dog and pet the dog. You know, usually when you do that, you're like, may I? Can I
And
say
you just
hi?
looked at him and you said, "Can I say hi?"
I said, well, yeah, because I know that there's a etiquette of petting someone's
Of
dog.
course, God ask permission.
You got to ask permission. You can't put your hand out there because if there's a chance they might be like, I'm sorry, they don't like people.
Mhm.
In which case you have to respect that because that means that dog's about to rip your face off.
Mhm.
You're gonna have to call
Means-
Morgan and Blaustein.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's it's definitely. You could have loved that guy though. You could have gotten along great with the guy. I'm picturing the scene from American Psycho when he like goes in and like grabs the guy in the bathroom and he's like, "Of course, but why here? Why now? Can I say hi? Sure, but why in the elevator?"
That guy thinks he wants to hook up with him or something, right?
Yeah, he's a gay man, and then he thinks that Patrick Bateman wants to fuck him.
Yeah.
When was the last time you guys watched that flick?
It's been too long.
American Psycho.
Yeah,
Oh, not in a long time. I think I've only seen it once.
that's one that gets better every time you watch it.
It's a strange movie, and I remember seeing a clip recently that who's the main actor in it?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, when he read the script, thought it was a comedy. And it was meant, I guess, to be like a dark comedy.
Yeah.
But nobody really took it that way.
It's like directed by a woman. I think it's just making fun of like Wall Street Bros.
It's like a
But it did too good
parody.
of a job.
Yeah.
That was his big break, by the way. Christian
yeah, I
Bale.
can see it.
That was his big first movie.
It's a good movie. I love the font scene.
It didn't do as much for me. You know what from that movie that caused a huge problem? Remember the Duke Lacrosse rape scandal?
Of course, how could I forget?
So one of the Duke Lacrosse
One of the
players,
great rape scandals.
I mean, yeah, it's
It's the one.
Easily top
Well,
3.
the Harvard of
no.
rape scandals for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, no, Cosby is the Harvard. I think
Yeah,
Duke
there are some
Lacrosse
bigger
is
ones.
No,
the Yale.
you are just omitting because you are a Penn State grad.
Okay, Penn State is the
Penn
Harvard.
State is the Harvard of
Penn
rape
State is the
scandals.
Harvard. Cosby is the Yale.
No rape scandals at DePaul.
You don't. Let's look that up right now.
I can't be right. It feels like none that get reported. But anyway, there was a guy on the team who I think after the woman
I
went,
looked it up. It says the Duke Lacrosse case, DePaul College of Law. So the only one at DePaul is the one they studied about Duke Lacrosse.
wow,
That's hilarious.
that is
Dude,
crazy.
go Demons.
So go ahead.
Well, one of the guys on the team, I think one of the strippers or whatever, after she had accused them, he sent an email to the team as a joke where he quoted American Psycho and said something like, I want to rip her skin off and wear it or something. It was a direct quote from the movie.
Yeah. I remember that.
And the email got leaked
Mm-hmm.
or the press found out about it, and nobody connected the dots that he was quoting the movie.
Yeah.
And it got thrown as another log on the fire that these guys were like the worst people ever.
yeah.
That's got to be a nightmare for the movie quote guy, who is like usually just doing old school and shit like that. He picks that day to have that movie quote.
Yeah.
That was a big personality trait around that time too. Just a guy who knew every word for Wedding
Yeah.
Crashers.
I'm going to stop doing movie references.
Yeah, that actually ruined my life.
I don't think they're
Should have gone
harmless.
with, we're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
I knew it.
That would have been
It
way
was
better.
between that and Luke, I am your father.
Yeah. But, I don't know if she knows her father, so it didn't pertain. And then,
Dude, I have a situation I need your guys' advice on. My dad teaches at a college.
Duke.
No, unfortunately not, but at a different college. And he said that he caught one of his students. He was like, do you have like 5 minutes to talk? I called him and he was like, I caught one of my students cheating with the meta glasses. And he was basically like, how do the meta glasses work? Like, I need inside intel. And I was with like,
cheating with the meta glasses.
I was like, I stand with the people. You figure this out on your own, motherfucker. But
snitches get glitches.
Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out how they were doing it.
How did he catch the person?
They
Or
had.
because their eyes were glowing up in LED lights.
I haven't seen them.
They're the ones I have. I like film my like bike rides in on them.
Yeah, but so you're talking about those Ray-Ban ones that have
Yeah.
the camera?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like the Google Glass,
Oh no,
like
no.
the glasses
no the
that
meta
have like a screen.
No, these look
Like
really
Spy
normal.
Kids
These
shit.
look like normal glasses, but there's a tiny thing on them, right?
Yes.
I wasn't thinking about like the fucking Apple VR. That would be hilarious.
That would be
though. The ski
Their
goggles.
prescription.
Yeah,
I have to wear these. Why? I can't see the test if I don't wear these. But these ones are just like the Ray
I have
Bans.
a doctor's note. Dear Professor.
I need to be plugged in at all times. But they have a camera, but they look like they're like $300 Ray-Bans. And the camera glows a little bit on the ones I have. I don't know about the current ones. And there's speakers in the ear. So I figured that this person could probably like live stream the shit to like a burner Instagram or something like that. And someone could be at home watching that live stream and like typing in the answers and then like texting them. Because when you get a text message, it reads it into your ear or some shit like that.
that would be pretty advanced.
So how do you think they were doing it?
Well, that's what I'm...
Take a pic, because like if you take a still with them, you have to go on your phone to send the still home.
Can you actually live stream with the glasses?
Yeah, I think, right?
I think at this point you can. And the ones I have can't, but I think you can now.
Are you sure these are the same glasses as you said the Meta glasses?
Yeah, they said they were bragging about it to another student. Is how he found out. But he said he can't like do anything about it because he didn't catch them red-handed, but he knows it's happening.
Wait, did the other student tell him?
I'm not sure who they told. Maybe they told it like a TA
Oh, wow.
or something like that, and it made its way up the chain. Snitches once again. But I'm trying to figure out how they could have done this.
The microphones are fantastic.
They are. It sounds like you actually have speakers on, and then you
Better
take them
than
off.
my AirPod Pros.
They are. You take them off, and you feel like somebody is like. You feel like everybody could hear what you were just hearing, but no one can.
That's probably what it was for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like you were onto it there. You had the scent of it.
If so, I feel like Frank Abagnale,
Mm.
a former cheater gone rogue to work for the government. It's just how they do the checks. My dad lets me go home for a weekend. You think I should have like told anybody? Or do you think I should have let the kids get away with it?
I don't know. Did you guys ever
You gotta help your dad.
bend the rules on a test?
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you did for sure. Francis?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. High school.
To what level?
Well, I remember I was in a math class and I was really not prepared.
I meant to what level of your education?
Oh,
College?
I would never have figured out that that's what you meant.
Well, that's why I rephrased it and
I
told
appreciate
you.
it. I appreciate it.
You ever cheat in college?
No, I don't think so. No, I was too afraid. I was too afraid.
obviously.
Also, my freshman year was the only year that I had exams because I hated them. I hated fucking exams so much. And so then from that point on, I only chose classes that had final papers, right? Or like final assignments of some kind. And you know, those final papers would suck. They'd be like 15 pages.
Yeah.
And they'd take me
Well, it's way harder
time.
to cheat. But like bubbling in a Scantron, fucking trace that bitch.
They tried to say that I was cheating in college.
You were.
I wasn't.
You were cheating yourself probably by not putting your whole fucking
No, I
weight
tried
behind
in
college.
I had like A's and B's, and then I took philosophy, my second semester, and I like it was like just some read this. What do you fill out the short answer test, and I read what the philosopher wrote. I don't know who it was, maybe Plato, and then I wrote like my interpretation of it, and then they were like, you just used his ideas.
Plato's?
Oh, you didn't even paraphrase?
And I was like, well, the test is on what we just read, and I just told you what we read.
You use Play-Doh? They accuse you of copying off of Play-Doh?
They said I used too much like word for word what he said.
Was it an open book test that you were able to use?
It was like an assignment. It was like an assignment that you did
I
at
see.
home.
Yeah. Mm.
And they were like, it came up on like the plagiarism checker that I like plagiarized the entire thing.
Those things suck too, the
And then
plagiarism checkers.
And they made me redo it.
I took Science A35.
She was like-
oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No. Go
She
ahead.
pulled me into her office. She was like, to be honest, I should be reporting this to the dean. And I was like, what? Because I didn't. She I if I cheated, I would have been like, yeah, of course. I was like, what? I was like, are you at? Because I've cheated on tests and shit before in high school.
This isn't cheating.
But I was
I
like,
know cheating.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
you're
did not
talking to a cheater,
Yeah.
but this time you got it wrong.
I was like, I actually did not cheat on that test.
Yeah. You're going to want to look for other things,
Yeah.
but
And
not this.
I redid it and I got an A.
They made you redo it?
Yeah, I had to redo the whole thing.
Wow.
I think I had to redo do a new assignment and write like a whole essay.
Wow.
Shit was easy. Philosophy is easy. Bullshit.
The closest I came, and this is sort of a gray area one, was that I took Science A35, the expanding universe, to fulfill my quantitative reasoning. Or no, it was my Science A core, actually. And I was not a science math guy. Those were hard for me.
Yeah.
And this was physics, really, is what it was. And it was one of those classes that, like, historically had been an easy one. And the way that Harvard worked was that if you, like, every year of the class, there was this thing called the Q guide, where students would review classes from the year before and rate them in terms of like how hard they were, average amount of homework, individual things, rate the professor, things like that. And we all had that as we were selecting our courses for the next year. And this class for the last 2 or 3 years had been, people were like, that's easy. That's how you should get rid of your Science A core. That's an easy one. But then if that happened a couple years in a row, the class would get smart to it. And then out of nowhere, the class would be impossible. So 1 year it would flip.
Yeah.
Like they'd read their own Q scores and then they'd be like, okay, this is the year we turn it on.
I teach at Harvard. You don't tell me my class is easy.
Yeah.
And they just turn it on.
And the year I took it, sure enough,
Hard.
it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
And luckily I had 2 buddies in it who were brilliant at physics, but I was so in the woods.
Yeah.
So I would do our problem sets with them. And then for the final, you were allowed to bring in one, 8x12 or 9x12 note.
Yeah. You
Okay.
print?
What's that?
Did you print?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you were allowed to do that.
Yeah. Put in like
because it has
4
all the
fonts.
equations
He
on
had
it.
told us we should specifically study past year's tests, which were available to study. And what we did is we went into the past year's tests and we took the problems from those, solved them, and then we turned it into font size like 3.
Yeah.
The smallest, tiniest font that you could still barely read.
Yeah.
And then we packed that one page from one side to the next. I mean, it looked like the scribblings of a maniac. And they literally reused the problems from previous tests. So we had it all there. And we had covered our sheet.
Yeah.
Most kids had written like formulas and by hand, but ours was just like a full-blown reprinting of that. So I guess that was probably bending the rules a little.
Nothing was worse than when you'd get one of those tests and they'd be like open notes. And then you'd be like, it's going to be a breeze. And then you have the open notes and you're like, I'm going to fail this still.
I didn't take any notes.
Yeah, none
I
of this
forgot to
applies.
take notes. Fuck.
You're like, I'm so fucked.
It's just like Joan of Arc, dash. And then you start drawing some random shit.
Hey, you want to get lunch sometime? Fuck, that doesn't...
I remember when I think I was I had already like interviewed with Barstool and I had some final for like a religion class. And I remember that like we were fully remote at this point. So it was like cheating was a given. And even I had the full power of like the internet at home. For the life of me, I think I just didn't do it. I think I just didn't submit it because I was like, I don't know what any of this shit means. Like I would read the passages or whatever and I'd be like, I don't understand.
It is
If
crazy.
ChatGPT existed then, it would have saved my
Dude.
ass so much.
I don't know fucking what the point of any education is anymore. I really don't.
Well, it's good to know things.
Fine.
Oh, true.
But going to class, you know what I mean? I don't know how people are either going to apply themselves or they're not, and they're just going to use ChatGPT or whatever,
Yeah.
right? And so what I mean is, if it's just going to be a completely self-determined, I want to learn versus I don't need to learn,
Yeah.
then the kids who are going to learn can do that from home,
Yeah.
right? So what is the point of enrollment? And by the way, I believe this has already started. Because
Yeah.
did you see that college enrollment among males versus females has now reached like 40-60?
Oh, no.
I'm going to look that up. Could you look that up for me? Like male female college enrollment split. It's the widest education gap in the history of. It was 58-42 in 2021.
It's because all the teaching and all the learning is like skewed towards women. Like there's nothing about like monster trucks or like Sydney Sweeney's like huge titties or anything like that we could like that we know like the back of our hand.
Right.
Which
Spent
is
a
so
whole
whack.
year on the 19th Amendment. Not even a semester on monster trucks.
It's such bullshit. Like
0 cents.
imagine how good we would do if monster trucks was part of it. And like, okay, like fine, like put in social studies or some like English.
Yeah.
Girls have good handwriting. So what? So fucking weird. That's why guys don't want to go to college and they all enroll in monster trucks.
3 years of cursive.
Yeah.
3 years of learning cursive.
And no gravedigger jumps.
All right, fellas, I gotta go
All right, brother.
to the airport.
Okay, pal.
Unfortunately.
No, that's okay. Have a good trip. Good flight.
Thank you.
Enjoy Chicago,
Curious
brother.
about that gender gap thing. Oh, okay. So it got to 56-44, which is crazy. And now it's 56-39, which means that there's 5% somewhere in there that is a different gender. Prefer not to answer. Yeah. Either way, I mean,
Major
39% is crazy. You know?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, let's put it this way, guys. If you want to get some pussy, go to college.
Yeah.
Because it is
Be that 39.
crawling.
Yeah.
Or China.
Or China.
China's a
college
good
or
place.
China?
Yeah, China's a good place.
What's the numbers like in China? Or is it 50-50 now? Because they
No,
killed
it's
killed
not.
all the girls.
It was like 55-45 when I was there. But that was in favor of guys, I thought.
Oh, because they were the mandate was you had to have a guy.
Well, and also for a long time when families had daughters, they would just give them up for adoption.
True.
They were like, what's the point of even having this?
Interesting. So if you're looking for pussy, do not go to China.
Don't go to China. Go to college.
Go to college. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Goodbye.
All right.